The WF-1000XM6s from Sony have giant shoes to fill. Not because what I'm doing right now makes any sense whatsoever, but rather because Sony's XM5 predecessor was extremely well regarded. But Sony, who sponsored this video, seems extremely confident that they are going to beat their last generation child. Once again, not literally of course, but figuratively, by upgrading from 6 active noise cancellation microphones to 8 with better processing to go along with it, as well as beamforming so it only picks up your voice, upgraded bone conduction so that it's better able to isolate your voice from everything around you, and profiles so those microphones can better cancel out the various environments around you, like if you're on the bus or at a bar. Ooh. This is nice. In a world where there are too many gigantic true wireless charging cases, Sony seems to be going the other direction with actually a pretty sleek little case. USB-C charging as well as wireless charging, a physical pairing button inside. We've got the XM6s themselves. Sony claims 8 hours of battery life out of the earbuds themselves and 24 hours total if you're using the charging case. And they also say they've significantly upgraded the ergonomics of these, which I'm looking forward to checking out, but I'm gonna do that after. First, let's talk about what else is in the box. Nice eco-friendly cardboard packaging, you love to see it. Little quick start guide. I get a little tiny charging cable. USB A to C. Feel free to buy yourself a true spec cable from lttstore.com to upgrade this. Not saying you have to, I'm just saying feel free to do so. All right, let's have a look at these. 8 bloody microphones, and wow, is that a foam style tip? Gotta say, wild choice, Sony. I love it from a sound isolation standpoint, but they do tend to be a bit less durable. So I can imagine that some folks might not prefer that approach. Another thing that makes the choice a little odd to me is that one of the things that Sony is boasting about with these is that their active noise cancellation tends to, wow, pass-through mode just kicked in there. Sorry, their active noise cancellation is apparently quite a bit better in cases where you have a bit of a looser fit compared to their last generation. And just better in general. All right, we have a pair that's already paired, so I'm just gonna switch over to those. I like their cute little color-coded ear tips. Even though I'm a medium, I wanna change them anyway, because that was a major complaint for me on particularly my pair of it was bloody impossible to get the ear tips off without damaging them. Well, that was much better. Okay, see, it can be done. You just needed Sony to show you the way. And while the sort of jelly bean style is not necessarily my preferred shape, Sony claims that these are 11% slimmer than their last generation, which should make them more comfortable in more scenarios. On top of being slimmer, the new shape is apparently based on collected ear data, so should fit pretty darn well. Oh yeah, and their IPX4, I think it is. Ah! Ooh, getting too old to do these shake tests. I think I just damaged my brain a little. We can do a quick pocket test while we're at it. Pocket test time. Oh yeah, she's a little bulkier, she's a little squarer, but she definitely goes in. I, for instance, sleep with wireless earphones in, and I'd be interested to see if the pressure is gonna be a problem. If I kind of go like this and move around a lot, I can get them to kind of squeak a little bit, but not super loud. So I can get them to make a little like noise canceling, but not at a volume that's bothersome. Just I sleep with my earphones in things, nobody else will care. Oh, can I get a pillow, please? Have a little work nap? Yep. Comfort is decent. I'd rate it about a B-. However, I do notice that they do the same thing that some earphones do for me, where any pressure on them kind of closes off the ear canal and makes it so whichever one I'm lying on top of is effectively muted. Still, this won't be a problem for most people. Let's try playing around with the noise canceling, because that's the biggest thing that's gonna determine whether these are worth it over the competition, because they are quite a high-priced option. I swear, man. Noise canceling technology, I can now say more broadly, instead of just about that one company that also makes a really cool noise canceling true wireless, is basically black magic at this point. Functionally no pressure sensation. And this is interesting. It actually doesn't feel like it's canceling out my own voice quite as much as my dailies. However, the things around me are extremely muted. Okay, traffic. That's crazy. The first thing I went to do on my phone, I went, oh, well, it's pretty quiet, I should turn it up. It's maxed already. That's pretty sick. Whatever, sponsored or not, I wanna hear these too. Okay. This is really tough because both of them take a second to kick in, right? Like they'll start in transparent mode and then they'll be like, and then they'll actually start to cancel a little more of it as they adapt to what type of noise it is. There's no doubt in my mind that these are a very similar class of product, which I mean as extremely high praise. But that doesn't mean that both experiences are gonna be in the same class. As an Android user, for instance, I get treated like a second-class citizen with my earphones. I can't even update my firmware without borrowing a Mac or an iPhone, which is pretty ridiculous. Sony, meanwhile, supports both ecosystems, iOS and Android. Let's actually poke around in their app and see what all we can do in here, aside from changing the noise cancellation mode. Auto ambient sound with different sensitivity levels, very cool. Oh, allow voices while suppressing background noise. Okay, this is probably worth kind of trying out.
How's it going?
Yeah.
Hello. Hey.
Yeah, okay. Background music to simulate a distant ambiance, like the background music of a cafe. Nice. So DMS did have some observations about the response curve of these. Was not a huge fan of the dip in the mid-range. However, the inclusion of an EQ function goes a long way towards making up for any tuning disagreements that you might have with Sony. Because the drivers themselves are apparently a big upgrade over last gen with new materials, a high rigidity dome, and notches in the edge sections, which Sony says helps with more immersive bass. Personally, I'm not an audio engineer, so I'll take their word for it. Oh cool, you can save a couple custom EQs. That's nice. I'm just gonna listen to them off to start. Tailor the headphone settings to match your lifestyle, like walking, running, and transit, and resting. This really seems like the sort of thing that I would not use, but if you like it, then I like you. Oh, it supports multi-point connections. This is super cool, love it. It's kind of a Bluetooth function, but it's nice to see Sony putting in the work to implement it. Okay, voice control, oh my God, there's so much in here. All right, so the left, ambient sound control, nice. Oh, interesting. You can set it up so it's like a press and hold. So I can be like, yes, I'd like to talk to you right now. Haha, actually I'm done. That's kind of nice. Tap to start playing music. Turn that off for now though. Not ready to listen yet. I'm gonna prioritize sound quality. This is nice, being able to toggle whether the noise canceling works with just one earbud in. What? Built-in sensors to make sure you're wearing them right? Okay. It wants me to push the left ear tip in a little bit more. All right, earbud tips are airtight. The good news is you don't really need the check wearing condition one if you determine optimal earbud tips and you find that you are wearing them correctly, I guess. Battery, oh, that's kind of smart. Turns off some fancy functions when you're below 20% battery. Okay, let's try a quick FaceTime call with Mr. Bellavance.
Hello. Wait, are you on the phone or are you on earbuds? Because it sounds pretty good.
I'm on the earbuds.
Wow, not bad.
Hold on, there's no traffic noises in the background yet, though.
Hold on. Oh, but now there is.
Can you hear the traffic behind me?
You sound a little bit more warbly, but I don't hear any traffic.
Really?
Yeah, like not
bad.
at all.
Okay. How about now?
Barely.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay, that's pretty sick, because I even tried to mess with you, and I put it like right where my mouth was. Like though the traffic was my voice kind of thing.
So it's doing more than just beamforming. It's also like really actively looking for those annoying background noises and canceling them out. And oh, right, the bone conduction is probably helping too. Very cool. Okay, I'm gonna listen to some music now. See you later. That's like damn impressive. I had it like right here.
Yeah, barely at all.
Very cool. Whoa, okay, we got all kinds of different controls here. Tap repeatedly to control the volume. Oh, okay. So let's start music. Oh, okay, that totally works. Takes a little while, and there's a little bit more noise being passed through because you're like bopping on something that's in your ear. But if you're fine tuning it, I'd say it's not a big deal. For a large adjustment, I'd probably go for the volume rocker. All right, cool. Needs EQ, for sure. As someone who prefers a little bit more of a vocal forward sound, I definitely felt the need to boost the mids. Let's have a look at DMS's notes here on the frequency response. Yeah, strong bass, unfortunate valley in the 500 to 1,000 kilohertz range. I didn't feel the need to boost that as much as I felt the need to boost sort of the 4 kilohertz, 2 kilohertz to 8 kilohertz range. Just curious how much this is bothering me here. The uneven treble dipping towards sort of the lower range of the bounds. Sony says that their tuning was performed in collaboration with Grammy-winning artists. That doesn't necessarily mean that it'll translate to a listening experience that you will find optimal out of the box. But the good news is that in providing you with an EQ app, even on iOS, where that's not always a given, you'll have the ability to tune them according to your liking, which they give you a couple of extra custom modes because your liking might not always be exactly the same depending on what exactly it is that you're listening to. Very notable about them while I was listening was the noise cancellation performance, and I really can't overstate what a big deal this is. You know, back when I was a kid, we used to have our earphones on like this and we'd have them cranked up really loud because we had to overcome whatever was going on around us. With active noise cancellation, I can listen to my earphones extremely quietly so that I'm not risking any kind of damage to my ears and still be able to hear my music over whatever's going on in the world around me. Subjectively, to me, the most exciting thing about these is just how configurable they are. Whether you're on iOS or Android, there is so much you can do to fine-tune these to exactly your preference. From controls to the sound signature to even the way that they function as you go about your daily life automatically. You guys can check these out. They're $329 US. We'll have them linked down below. Thanks, Sony, for sponsoring this video, and thank you for watching. Subscribe to Short Circuit.